Hello my friends, it's Gabriel with The Last Huntsman Outdoors here. This is going to be kind of more of a knife discussion type of video instead of a more specific review. So I'm just going to be doing it here in my yard. You guys might see Momo the adventure poodle here and there. Yes, I have a poodle. He's a full-size standard poodle. Actually, he's mixed. From what I remember looking at his paperwork, he's poodle mixed with a German Shepherd. So yeah, he's kind of a doofus looking dog, but he protects the farm and homestead and he does a really good job at that. So Mama, come on, sit down. There you go buddy. But anyways, so we're going to be discussing what I look for and what I prefer with a EDC fixed blade. So we're going to be kind of getting into some of my preferences, what I choose to carry, what I enjoy to carry, and why I choose and enjoy to carry these certain knives. Now, real quick, I'm going to get kind of into a quick little shout out. I have to give both. Mama, come on, get. Sorry. I have to get into a couple things here. First of all, be sure to check out Ursus Carry. He's my favorite Kidex maker. He makes a lot of awesome sheaths, and if you got that like really neat EDC fixed blade you like, but you don't really got the like best sheath for it, be sure to check out Ursus, and be sure also try coupon code Last Huntsman, all capital letters, all one word, for some awesome Kidex sheets. And check out Carrol's Customs. This is the Esee 3, but these handle scales really change it up, the whole feel of this knife. It kind of adds a lot more texture and detail. So check out Carrol's Customs and also coupon code Last Huntsman, all capital letters. All right, another thing is bear with the wind noise. Where I live, it's either thick woods or open fields, and my yard is kind of out in open fields. So yeah, I just got to deal with a lot of wind out here, which honestly, I'd rather be dealing with wind than 90 degrees and no wind. We'll get into a few caveats here too. So I do like to carry a fixed blade. I carry a fixed blade on me every day. I also carry a pocket knife folder. But I also, of course, have the Rudy Tooty Pewty on me. So, you know, that's kind of determines some things as well. So just a kind of a little bit of a caveat there. So we'll kind of get into what I like to look for and kind of go into a little bit of my history too. So when I first got into like carrying a fixed blade, I was liking something more of like that 4 to 5 inch range, like blade range. I was actually carrying something what I would now kind of consider more of like a camp knife almost, for like an everyday carry knife. And that's kind of where I started off with, but as time went on, I've kind of downsized the size of knife that I like to carry. One, just mostly for comfort. Now, as you guys may have seen, the way I carry and the way I prefer to carry is I like to carry kind of in that 4 o'clock position, strong side. I tuck the sheath into my pants and then clip the oldie clip over. So then the belt kind of rides over the whole thing. So even with like my t-shirt over it, it conceals it really well and it's quite easy to draw. So that's how I carry. So another thing to talk about here is the size range. Now, you know, like I said, I originally liked to carry something a little larger, but these days, for just my main EDC fixed blade, I like to carry something in kind of that 3 to 3.5 inch blade range. I kind of prefer more of the 3.5 inch. Sometimes I'll even push it even towards like 4 inch. Kind of depends. I think this is actually 3 3/4. So and this one here is the Primitive Bear Knives Hunters EDC. I have a coupon code for Primitive Bear Knives, by the way. It's Last Huntsman, but not, it's just last as one word with the capital L, and Huntsman all lowercase. So, but just for a friendly little discount for Primitive Bear Knives. All right, so as I was describing, I like something with that kind of 3.5 inch to maybe pushing 4, I guess 3 to 4 inch blade range. And I like something that's ideally under 8 inches. So that's kind of the size range I look for. So a few that I'm been kind of rotating through as of late. Obviously the Primitive Bear Knives Hunters EDC. This one's a 5/32 crew wear. Really enjoy this one. One I've been also enjoying carrying is the Very Good Knife Company Adventure. This one's 3/16 thick of 80 CRV2. Of course, one that kind of gets a lot of use by me is the good old classic Esee 3. This one's a little on the larger side compared to the other ones, and it's mostly because of the choil there. I always wished Esee would make one of these without a choil, and they have a few different models that don't have a choil that's kind of the same size, but it still doesn't have that Esee 3 grip, and I really enjoy just the Esee 3 grip. One that you guys see a lot on here is the White River Knives Ursus Cub. This one's rocking out the Lucas Carrol grips and armistice sheath. Awesome combo. Absolutely love this knife, and it's 1/8 of an inch thick, Magna Cut, high saber grind. Really like that one. One that I got given to me at Blade Show, and I really do enjoy it, is the Lion Steel M2M. This one's in M390. Got ant crawling on me. Sorry. Anyways, M390. Really like that. This one has a little bit more fuller grip on it. Honestly, out of all of these, this one probably has the most comfortable grip. And something too, I'm kind of bouncing all over the place with this video, so bear with me, is, as you guys may have noticed, every knife that I've shown on here, I have an Ulti clip. I usually use the Ulti clip 3.3. So this is the one that I enjoy carrying, and I usually rock it out in that 4 o'clock position. However, the same setup would easily work too if you like to pocket carry. Now, me personally, I like to just carry a pocket knife as well. So usually my pocket knife, this one's the Demco 80 20.5 and AUS 10 steel. Usually my pocket knife is my kind of beater knife, so I'll use it to just cut open, you know, trash and everything like that, and then save my fixed blade for, you know, what I would consider more important things, and or God forbid self-defensive stuff, which, you know, I'll get into that in a bit. Now, as you guys can see, a lot of these knives are all fairly similar sized. You know, this one probably has, out of the main 5 that I like carry, this one probably has the longest handle. Now, as I said, I do like something with kind of like that 3.5 inch blade. However, having something with a shorter handle also helps with carrying it on a day-to-day basis. If it has just like an extremely long handle, like this is probably the longest handle I'll go with, even though this one's still fairly comfortable. But if it has a really long handle, it starts to feel a little awkward on your side. This one has a really short and compact handle, and it's extremely comfortable to carry. This one is too. Actually, as far as comfort, I would say almost from right to left is how they are for comfortability as far as carrying them on a day-to-day basis. This one is extremely comfortable. This one is too. This one is just a little least. This one is probably a little lesser than these 3, and this one probably the least comfortable. However, in hand, This one feels absolutely amazing. This one feels absolutely amazing. This one feels absolutely amazing. This one, it feels really good, but right there by the neck, it gets a little short. This one here, even more so. This one actually, I kind of wish the scales kind of came up a little higher, like just almost right there by the guard. It would be a little more comfortable for my thumb, but it does feel pretty good in kind of that handshake grip too. All right, so why do I prefer something of that like 3.5 inch blade size? I know a lot of people prefer something a lot smaller, and I think if all you're going to be doing is carrying one knife, pocket carry, all that good stuff, that probably is not a bad direction to go. But I prefer like that 3.5 inch blade or so, 3.5 to 4 inch blade, just because I like something that, if this comes down to like one of my main tools, I still feel like even like out in the woods or whatever kind of situation I'm in, this can still do a lot of work. It's not ideal. I prefer something a little larger, but I still can make this work. And even in like a potential self-defense type of situation, I could still make a blade of this size pretty potent. Now that's something else to kind of get into. So speaking of self-defense, as I showed you guys, I do carry a pew-pew. That is my main self-defense. So the knife is extremely secondary. So as I was saying, the knife's going to be extremely secondary. So what I mostly want with a knife is something that's going to be a great utility tool and a potential self-defensive tool. So when I can grab like an EDC fixed blade, that's what I'm mostly looking for, is something that's going to serve as a utility tool first. Like even if you guys look at like military guys and stuff, and I know there's like a lot of Hollywood bravado and retarded just nonsense out there, but most military guys are just using their knives for a utility tool. Ask me, because I know I've served in the Marines, and that's mostly what I did as an infantry guy, is use my knife as a utility tool. So that's what I want mostly with even like an EDC fixed blade. That being said, I do like something that, worst case scenario, I can use it as like a defensive option. So I like something that indexes well, that's not going to want to like rotate in my hand, that I can use. But I also like something that doesn't just scream tactical too. So, you know, kind of a thing to kind of think about is, one time actually a couple times I got pulled over. One time I had an SE3 on me. Cop looked at it, didn't bat an eye. He just was like, keep it on the sheath, I don't care. The other time I had a Tops cut on me with the like whole karambit ring on that and stuff. Had that knife a long time ago. That brought like a different level of scrutiny, even from law enforcement and all that. And even if you can carry something like that, which I can here in this state, sometimes just having something like that kind of draws a different level of attention than what's necessary. And that's why I prefer something of that more utilitarian kind of look that can still potentially serve as a defensive tool if need be. So that's just something else to consider too. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. What do you guys look for with an EDC fixed blade? And I'm just kind of curious. So with all that being said, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless, and carry on.